All right, welcome everybody. How y'all doing? So I want to start something new. I don't know if I've seen it done anywhere on YouTube, um, but if you've seen the last video, it was titled the same as this one. It was Casting Call, and it was about walking your true identity. So now you don't have to go back and watch the video right now, but my point is that when I say I want to do something new, that means like most channels post a video and they respond to the comments as they come in, but I want to set up something where we can talk about it. Like we can come together, sit and discuss and go over the topics together. So we can, like, until we all are able to meet in person somewhere else. The plan is to go live a week after every video is posted, so we can discuss the topics. I can get you all starts and answer any questions you may have if you watch the video. So if you have any questions now, feel free, honestly, like just you can start throwing them in the chat now. So I'm not the only one talking and coming up with stuff. Okay, cool. Um, so if you like this format, then let me know. We can keep it going. But if you want to stay aware of the videos that I'm posting and on YouTube, then follow me on Instagram. That's so.casso, same as what you see on YouTube. But all my announcements will be there, not on YouTube, right? And if you want to watch me live in the future, do not watch on Instagram, but watch on YouTube. All my lives will be on YouTube. All my announcements will be through Instagram. All right. So, but let's get into it, right? So the video was called Casting Call. So like, what do I mean by that, right? So if our life was a movie, and we all know sometimes it can be. It's like, are we staying true to our character as these scenes change of life, or like as the context changes? Are we letting these scenes dictate who we are um, in a given moment? Especially, well, I mean, essentially, like we give false narratives of like who we are and how we feel, depending on where we are, who we're around, what the consequences may be, right? Like side note, like still staying in like the movie metaphor, some of the best actors so good at their roles because it's completely opposite of who they really are. It's like some of our best teachers. I've spoken with some before, and they say end up teaching subjects that they were the worst that I had to study at the most. Um, but I started the video by asking a question, and the question was, "Who are we?" And I asked that just so can begin to reflect on past moments in life where we had to express ourselves and our feelings. And the question for was for us to think: did we actually respond truthfully in those situations? Um, Things that may have brought up some fear or brought us some discomfort, did it cause us to act in a different way than how we truly feel? Or did we honestly um, come in that moment with truth and respond with truth despite how it made us feel? Right. So now there are moments where we have to control our emotions and navigate situations. I'm speaking of right now. Um, I'm speaking of moments about like when your boss gives you a task and you don't want to do it, don't know how to do it, don't have time to do it, yet out of fear you accept it anyway. Or how you may want to bring your significant other around your friends and your family, but they may not be accepting of their personality, expression, perspective, culture, occupation. So instead of bringing them around and receiving their like ridicule or their judgment towards your partner, you choose otherwise, right? Just simply how we conform to of our friend group instead of calling them out or calling them higher to a different standard, right? So I hope all of that makes sense. But before I mention any scriptures, I do have another example illustration just so we can understand like what this is, right? Because we have to be careful to check ourselves before we let this false identity consume us, or worse, become us, or like completely change us. And there is a scripture that is, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? So the more that we, whether it's true or not, the more we are to become that. So if you follow actors in movies at all, you'll see certain trends with different movies. For example, the Joker character. right? Every actor who has played that character in a major role has had the same experience, right? It's Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and whoever the new point to where the character takes over and it becomes their identity on and off the camera, right? On and off the camera, like really in their life, they are living out that personality, whether they're acting or not, right? It becomes something that they can't just turn off. And for one of the actors, Heath Ledger, as some of us already know, it was the effects of this role on his life that caused him to take his own life. So point that I'm trying to make with all of this is that we need to constantly recenter ourselves and our identity and constantly talk to God so we don't eventually we'll constantly turn into something that we're not, right? So let's look at some of the scriptures, right? So we'll be in Matthew 26. If you watch the video on YouTube that we're talking about today, then you already know what scripture we're in, but Matthew 26, and of course we got the paper Bible with us. But meet me at verse 31, and it says 31, it says, and Jesus said to them, you will fall away because of me this night, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. Right. So now once Jesus said this, it should be understood. It should be understood. Once Jesus said this, it should be understood that they should follow it, that it is true. All right. But in this case, Tom, then it's like, okay, cool. Like it may be funny, but by the third or fourth time, like it's not funny anymore, and you start to take everything that they say seriously. It may even get to a point where you don't want them to talk anymore, right? Because everything they say is coming true, and that's how we feel just in our regular conversations, right? But the